Whoa, it's the Illusion, reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, up late, working on artistic things. All right, someone on Facebook sent me a couple links to some other videos of people on YouTube saying, "Fuck you, Google." And then that kind of started me on an adventure in YouTubeville. And I watched more videos by more people that I've never ever watched their video before ever. And all of them were saying the same thing. Fuck you, Google. I don't want to be part of Google+. And my intuition when I first noticed this had happened was that this was censorship. And the more and more I watched these videos, I realized that this is censorship in its finest form. But it's not the censorship that we think it is. Merely us just having our comments routed to some other platforms so that that platform can be the main star of the internet world. No, this is a diabolical censorship. Because I noticed that most of the people on YouTube are just average people that under normal circumstances would not have a voice. I have a voice. I've always had a voice. I'm a loud, obnoxious person on a certain level. But I've never been one of the quiet people. I'm normal looking enough to be able to intermingle with humanity and not have anyone give me too much grief. But what I noticed watching a number of these YouTube videos where these were people that deserve to have their voice heard, that under normal norms of our society might be kicked to the curb, might be told that they're not worthy to have an opinion. And that's what this Google Plus thing with YouTube's all about. It's all about shutting us down from communicating, from having our voices heard, man. Look, you can just say it's just some sort of social media hiccup. No. This is about one of the most successful mediums of communication that the world has ever known being shut down and censored. And that's what really hit me watching all these people bummed. These people are bummed, man. They have developed a world where they, with their face and body, can communicate with the world and have input back and forth from whatever isolated hamlet or foreign country or mountaintop they were on. They were able to put their voice out there, whether they had 1 subscriber and 1 view or tens of thousands. They were suddenly put on an equal playing field, man. And that's what this whole thing's about. This is about making me have to be quiet, making me not be able to reach my people, making supra stylish fat guy not be able to get to me. But I found all these people tonight just because I wanted to know what the general vibe on the YouTube world was all about. And they're all saying the same thing. Fuck you, Google+. But see, I'm a scholar in the sense of I'm quite aware of what's going on politically on the face of this planet. And you see, I don't talk about it a lot. I brush up against it every now and then. Every now and then I'll have a rant. But I never really get into it because my personal vibe is that those who know, and those who don't, all I can do is scare them. So I figure, hey man, let's just vibrate past the scary dream and talk about the high frequency tribal aspect. And that's how we're going to defeat them. But you see, that was all based upon the concept of free and open communication and us not having to be shunned or shut into our closets or locked on our hilltop or stuck in our apartment in some weird town somewhere. No, what I had here was the ability to communicate with people all over this planet, man. And that's why they're doing this to us. Because no longer do I have the ability to communicate with you any other way than this one direction. See, before it was a multi-directional thing. And the thing that I found out tonight was they stopped the video reply. One of my favorite aspects was people making videos, replying to my videos, saying whatever they wanted to say about it, man, because that was the communication. But the communication's gone. And what's gone on here is this. Let's go down to the really terrestrial, scary dream. And if you're not ready for it, maybe you need to get ready for it, man. Look, I don't want it to be this way. I really believe that you can manifest your own energy field. You can determine your own reality. But they're counting on us not talking about the scary entity in the room. That there is an evil, negative, low-frequency, murdering presence on the face of this earth. Why else would humanity be destroying the environment for the sake of 6,000 families? Why would so many people be living in poverty when there's so much abundance? Because our entire planet's been taken over by evil people that will kill us. They've done it time and time again, man. You know, I don't like to talk about the dark side of it all, but that's what we need to talk about here, people. You know, the leading cause of like death that wasn't like, you know, car wrecks and heart attacks and stuff was what was called democide. Your own government killing you. By far the largest killer of human beings in the last century was governments killing their own population. And I'm not talking about soldiers and stuff like that. I'm talking about the government taking its citizens out behind the buildings and shooting them and killing them and doing whatever weird stuff these evil people do. Look, as far as I can tell, the United States of America no longer exists as the entity that we've known it to be and we think it is. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights are being torn up in our faces. Obamacare is essentially fascism. Look, man, if you don't know what fascism is, if you don't want to deal with what it is, maybe you better tune in. You know, I'm reading a book about what happened to the Jews in Nazi Germany because it always fascinates me. How did that happen to those people? How did it happen that all those people walked in to a gas chamber, man? Like, I've never been able to, it just boggles the mind. And the more and more I read, it's because they waited too long. All the signs were in front of them that they were going to get killed by their government, and they choose to blow it off, man. Look, dude, as far as I can tell, we live in present day to be equivalent with Nazi Germany, 1936. If you study up what was going on in Nazi Germany in 1936, I think that's present day America right now. Look, I don't give a care about Obama, George Bush. They're just puppets, man. We have to face the real problem here, that our country and our world society is being controlled by the energy companies, the military-industrial complex, the pharmaceutical companies, Monsanto, the corporate Borg. And they're deliberately trying to kill us, man. They don't want our energy to vibrate out into infinite consciousness. They want to keep us here as slaves. They want it. They're energy vampires, people. And I think now that I see that YouTube's coming to its end and the internet's getting ready for its clampdown, I think I've wasted too much time talking about the potential to vibrate past it without addressing the elephant in the room, the scary entity in the room. The fact of the matter that there are evil people on the face of this earth who want to do nothing more than slit our throats. People may call me an alarmist. People may call me a conspiracy theorist. But history tells me something entirely different. History tells me that the odds of me making it to a ripe old age aren't that good because the government's going to come and kill me, man. The government's coming to kill you. I mean, for those of you guys who don't know, it's like talking Chinese, man. I mean, we're in so much trouble, people. But you see, look, I'm armed. But I know that ultimately the gun's not going to do anything. I can't fend off one of the most armed group of... Dude, who do you think the Department of Homeland Security set up for? Who? It's you! That's the thing. We're just sitting around on the Titanic arranging deck chairs. And I'm one of those too, man. I don't want some bad, dark bullshit to head my way. And I go, okay, maybe if I just manifest the right energy, it'll all be okay. But I think that's part of it. But I think that in order to do that, you have to face the truth that there are people that don't have a conscience. I don't want to go into what they're up to, but I know what they're up to. They're all about killing people to take their life force and energize their own body. I won't get into the aliens and the Anunnaki and all that stuff. That's for you to figure out. But all I'm telling you people, man, is this is the beginning of the end, and we're already like 5 chapters deep into the beginning of the end, man. Look, once this internet thing really kicks off, man, they're about to, in Congress, they're talking about CISPA fucking 7.0 or whatever it is to control the internet and make it a Chinese-style system. But they know that people are a little sketchy about that, so that's what they're doing. They know that YouTube is the vehicle where we can communicate and take them back with positive energy. But in order to do that, we have to realize that these people are evil and will stop at nothing to stop us. They don't want us to vibrate into multidimensionalness, man. They want us to stay here as energy slaves, man. It is the Matrix. They want us to be human batteries. The underlying theme of all my videos have been all about empowering yourself. Because if you have turned yourself over to them, you are a victim. You need to take your power back. Look, I don't know what to practically do on a daily level. Like, I'm not going to go running out into the streets with a machine gun and start blasting people. That's what they want. They want us to commit violent acts. So we have to make ourselves aware that they're going to force our hand to commit violent acts. But if we know they're going to do that, we can beat them at their game by not doing that. You see what I'm getting at? Is if we're not prepared to face our own worst character defect, they will get us. You have to realize that you are potentially as evil as Adolf Hitler. Why is that crazy? Because it's all contained within us. I'm able to commit as much violence and atrocities as the next human being. But I've chosen not to, because I've chosen a different path in this life. And I know we've drifted way off of what's going on with YouTube and the Google Plus thing, but that's what's going on, people. They're trying to disenfranchise us. It's not me they're trying to disenfranchise. It's all these other people I've been watching on YouTube today. All these other people that under normal conditions would have no voice. Yeah, they're not talking about being high frequency and vibrating through the nonsense. They're talking about video games and makeup and dating boys and all sorts of nonsense, dude. But when it comes to it, their voices count, man, and their voices count in a free society. But you see, we no longer live in a free society. And we've been faking ourselves for far too long that we do live in a free society. Look, my personal belief is this, that you need to go immediately arm yourself. Yeah? And not to use it, to understand it, to have the weapon in your hand and go, this is an invalid route. Because if they do what history says they're gonna do, you're gonna wanna have that weapon, right? But if you have that weapon already, you can already go to the next logical thing is to vibrate right past them. But they're gonna try to scare us, people, man. I don't know. I think this whole weird thing with Google Plus is the first shot across the bow of ultimate censorship, man. It really alarms me, man, and it alarmed me on a personal level a couple days ago, but after watching all these other people's channels and realizing that they're going to be disenfranchised, they're going to have their way of communication taken away, alarms me more so than me, because I'm not one of those people that's been disenfranchised. I've always been enfranchised. I've always had personal sovereignty, man. Though I've chosen to give it away a couple times in my life and all that kind of stuff. But look, dude, just get ready, people, man. Be aware, dude. You gotta face the fucking demon in the room, man, and come to terms with it before we can ever get anywhere, man. Me personally, I ain't worried about nothing, dude. I don't really care, dude. I've already made my peace with my higher power. I've already made contact with source energy. I'm not living in fear, man. But I also realize that maybe I've neglected my ability to communicate to people the truth. You know, I've tried to, and I'm kind of repeating myself here, but you know what, man? Next video is going to be lighthearted storytelling, okay? How about that? Anyway, I won't be reading your comments, but just this is the beginning, man, of censorship on the internet.